You're going to be inspired because the story that Theo Cogill is about to tell you is one of perseverance, of bravery, and of the amazing courage to go against everything a doctor has said and go back to be right at the top of your chosen sport. Theo Cogill is the only South African to be going to the Commonwealth Games as a table tennis player. No other table tennis player is going from South Africa. Theo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks, and thanks to our viewers, and thanks for having me on your show today.
It's an absolute pleasure, man, because your story is an amazing one. And I want to take us maybe to the beginning. Age 11, you start playing table tennis. Yeah. How does that come about?
All started at community centers, you know, like the after-school programs, so everybody just go in the afternoon to a community center where there's activities going on.
Even in your community, because I spoke to a friend of mine in Cape Town today. I said, I've got it. Theo coming, his home is Bonteheuwel, and they're like, yo, Bonteheuwel, yo, it's so rough there, I would never. Is it as bad as all that? And were you able to then, was that what kept you away from bad things in that community?
It's quite bad, you know, due to situations of gangsterism and so forth. But there's also good things happening in Bonteheuwel, not only the bad side of things.
Like the after centers that had table tennis?
Yes. Like in the afternoon, you will find kids playing not only table tennis, football, cricket, whatever kind of activities is happening there.
And they took you through and you played. You then went on to becoming one of the stars of table tennis in South Africa, not just, you know, in your own community. You went on to national table tennis for South Africa.
It wasn't an easy trip though, you know, a lot of preparation, a lot of hard work. And some people might think it's just all roses, you know. But like you said also, the situation of where I'm living and going to training, it's not that easy to just overcome society and living in this society and waking up to society every day. So it's quite a challenge for me as well to want to do good, you know.
So, Theo, you're playing table tennis, you're amongst the best in the country, you're competing at all the big events that we host. And then in 2011, on a dark night, things went really wrong for you. What happened?
I was at my girlfriend's place at that time, and a few of my friends called me and asked if I could drop them somewhere. So I left, and I took them to wherever they were going. And we came there, and I think the club was about to close. And the bounce in front said that they're closing, so it's best they should leave. And at that time, I think 2 girls came out, and they approached the girls, and their boyfriends came along, and some argument fell out there. But at that time, I was sitting in the car, you know, waiting on them. And then next minute, I just see the hands flying and a whole fight. They got into a whole big fight. I got out of the car, went over to try and stop the fight, and I got stabbed from behind.
And what did that result in? You're stabbed now. What does the doctor say? You get to hospital. What do they tell you?
The situation was quite bad. It was a matter between life and death, you know, at that particular time, because I got stabbed on my spinal cord. So my spinal cord crashed, you know, and it led to me not walking again.
So they said you're paralyzed?
Yes, the doctor said to me.
You won't walk again?
No chance of walking again.
That's it?
That's it.
So then how is it now even possible that I'm looking at Theo going to the Commonwealth Games? You're going to the Paralympic division, but you also play against able-bodied athletes, and you're the number 2 in South Africa. How, from the doctor saying you're never going to walk again, are you able to walk in? You walk in slowly, but you walk, and you play table tennis.
Sad story, though. And to make a long story short, there's been a lot of doubt in that time, you know, but there's been people around. At that time, my girlfriend used to always encourage me to, hey, you're not disabled, you will be able to walk.
Get through this.
And the feeling wasn't really there. So I had a lot of thoughts of, where do I go from here, you know? And one morning I just woke up and I just felt some pins and needles in my leg. And I guess my feeling just came back from there, you know? And I just took things from there and said to myself, okay, let me see if I can go back onto the table. It took me about roughly 2 to 3 years to really get back into it and to adapt to how my body was at that time. But I overcame a lot, and I just always strive to want to do better.
Some people are going to look at you right now and say, why are you a Paralympic athlete? Like, what's wrong with you? We're looking at you, you look 100%. What's wrong? And you compete in something called the T10 category. What does that mean?
There's different categories. You get from TT1 to TT10. So TT1 to TT5 is people that is in wheelchairs, you know.
So if I hear T1 to T5, I'm expecting a wheelchair athlete.
Yeah. And then from T6 to T10 is people that can walk that are semi-paralyzed. But from TT6 to about 8 is people also with severe injuries, you know. All that 110 things. But for the TT10, you semi-paralyzed in the sense of your capabilities are much better than the others.
So what can you and can't do right now? What is, if we had to say, okay, Theo's problem is?
Like I can do a lot, but at first it wasn't easy to just do anything. I would have loved, yes.
It's rehab.
And I actually helped myself improve my body by doing things like I couldn't bend too long or pick up heavy things, and I would get cramps on my spine, and I couldn't run. I couldn't really walk properly. So it took quite a bit, some time to really overcome not only what happened, but to adapt to the situation that I'm really in, you know.
Not only have you adapted, Theo, but in 2017 you win the gold medal at the Table Tennis Federation Para Tournament in Taiwan. You then go in 2018 to Botswana. You're with the able-bodied athletes there, and you get the silver medal with just people who have never had a problem in their life. All they do is train, and you get a silver medal against those guys. I don't even know where to it's beyond heroic. I don't know what to call you.
Like I said earlier, some people maybe think it's all roses, you know, but it's also taken me a lot of thought through things, and also I know what to expect when I'm playing able-body. I know what to expect when I'm playing in the disabled part of the table tennis, but a lot of experience though, because I've been traveling all over the world for quite some time. So I just used all of my experience, and I've just try and strive through whatever comes in front of me.
So the final question for you then is, as the only tennis player, table tennis player, we're sending to the Commonwealth Games, what's your expectation there between April 5 and April 18 when the tournament takes place?
No expectations really, just to see how far I can take myself, or there's no limits for me, you know. Normally when I go to a tournament, people always ask, are you going to win a medal? Or my thoughts aren't really there, but to go out there and to do good and to, you know, it's life, or just to go out there and to win a medal doesn't just evolve around just winning a medal. It's training, it's a lot of thoughts, it's, you know, table tennis is a mental game, so it's a lot of thinking to do when you go out there on how do I beat certain players, because there's different types of players, and
we wish you all the best, Theo. And
that easy.
For me, and I think a lot of the viewers watching, you're already a winner. You were told you could not ever walk again, and you're now one of the best table tennis players we have in South Africa.